Hello and welcome. Today I've checked out a new, in quotations quotation marks, MMO called Divine Souls. Now, this game is not new. It was released previously, since I had to look this up because it didn't say anywhere on the Steam page, in 2011 on April 7th. With a different publisher, and it's been, according to the Steam page, republished by Suba Games after being previously published by Outspark. So they've had some changing around going on. But I've been playing this a little bit. And we'll check out the characters here. I've made 2 characters, played a little bit. I was messing around with this character, generic ass name. Let's get rid of them. Not worried about it. Great character. And, alright, here we go. Got Lightning from fucking Final Fantasy, because that is what this character is. We've got Token, Girl, and Almost Nothing. Got General Anime Dude, Priest. And then we've got this guy who looks like Dandy from Space Dandy. So they're all characters that are totally unique. Yep, that's what I'm gonna go with, totally unique. That sounds good. And to tell you what, let's create that same character again, and I'm just gonna sit back and let you guys give you the experience of what this intro is. It's pretty fucking long, but it is hilarious. So let's take a look.
All was well in the land of the gods, until a sudden desire for power and dominance erupted amongst them. In this once peaceful and bountiful region, a gruesome war filled with greed broke out, and it ultimately lasted over 1,000 years. The war reached its culmination with the extinction of the gods, and soon after, the area had split into 4 regions: Graud, Vermont, Syria, and Trecia. But there was a problem even here. The greed and selfishness continued. The country with the most potential to grow was Graud, developing into a civilization with the ability to use magic and monsters.
You know what? I think you guys have probably heard just about enough of that. So, I think the game starts in Vermont, which, I don't know about you guys' opinion, but the 4 names, these places don't really seem to follow any kind of logic as to what they're named, if everything used to be all one place. I think they'd be kind of similar, but I suppose not. So let's start up this tutorial. Basically, that whole intro thing ends with introducing the 4 characters. So here we have a little tutorial area. The combat in the game is action-y, where you actually have to like move out of the way of attacks, do like skills, combos, everything that you might expect. Dashing. Go through all these. Have to hit all the tutorial buttons. There's actually throws, which the other character I've been using seems to be heavily into. Alright. And the areas in the game are instanced aside from the main towns. So it's a lot like Guild Wars in that respect specifically. And otherwise, the thing that's really nice in this game that you don't see a lot of MMOs do is that you're actually fighting the enemies. Like, they have to hit you. They can't just swing and it'll give them a hit or a miss. Like, you actually have to fight them. Which leads to, in my opinion, more fun gameplay. Not a lot of MMOs do that. The shortcomings, however, as you've seen a little bit of them, are kind of that everything else is just ever so slightly just below average. Which, with the cutscenes and that kind of stuff, usually you can just skip through all that. But, like, it just feels like a lot of things are Like, aside from, like, the core ideas of the game, everything is just very below average. Like, and, well, this is one of the things that is, not below average, which is this. This is about as average as it gets.
You have finished the quest.
Oh, and, there's just some random voice that'll just tell you when you've done things or when you can't do things. So that's great.
If you are lucky
Let's
enough,
talk to this guy.
you might have a powerful weapon. I am here
You
to
have
help.
finished the quest.
And there's a lot of audio that can get kind of jumbled up. Now, one of the nice things is if you click on the quest arrows, it will just auto-run you to your next location. Now, as not to bore everyone with me just running around town talking to every shopkeeper in the place, because yes, that is the first quest, is I'm just going to go and do my second quest, which is to go to the dungeon in the next forest over. Now, being that this game has existed for 3 or more years, it could be better. But it is kind of the thing I would expect to see from about 3 years ago. So I can't put too much stress on it being kind of because it is fun to play. Like, I've been having a good time recently playing this game. It's got, like, a good feel to the combat in most cases. There have been a couple times where things get really choppy and kind of but for the most part, it's alright. Based on their Steam page, the game is going to be in early access for 5 months, but in the first 2 weeks of early access, at the end of that, they're going to have a character wipe. So obviously none of the things I'm doing right now matter at all. Fight my way through all these guys. Oh, whoops. And it's all kind of just arena-based combat. And based on my other character, you'll get more skills as it goes on, but the skills that I've gotten so far don't really seem to affect much, or they seem to be things I already have in another form.
You can go to the next area.
Yeah, and there's the announcer. But basically, the combat is like the one thing that I would consider actually in terms of MMOs to be actually above the bar, like to a pretty reasonable margin, where I'm not just standing next to a guy swinging and then activating my abilities when they're off cooldown. Like, you actually have to kind of think about where you're standing and you got to plan for stuff, which is good. But like everything else in the game, really to me is just Like there's not enough like you don't get gear very often, or at least not gear that's like better, and the leveling curve is really, I suppose it's not really steep, because I did get a character to level 9 in about like 40 minutes of playing, but that's about what I would expect as well. If it was any slower than that, I definitely would not be in any hurry to play.
You can go to the next area.
So the game has a lot of downsides, and in combat, what you're about to see is one of the things that I'm most disappointed in, is that the boss is really just big meat boss. Like there's big health pools. They're generally health pools that have one attack that is severely damaging if you manage to get hit by it. And the hitboxes for set attacks are generally huge, like enormous radiuses. And they normally come with a lot of adds, which I will just clear out. Each character gets one ability that you have to build up for and then you use. See, he's going to glow like that. and he just like runs into you. He doesn't really have any like strikers or anything. He might be stuck even. Nope. And it's just like, here, 1 second, let me get rid of this stuff. Oh, here we go. Then he's gonna swing that up. It's like a huge attack radius, like nuke attack. But like, bosses are very disappointing. Hey friend. Just walk over here. And it's not, they're not fun to fight. Like, the basic enemies are more fun to fight in like a Dynasty Warriors-esque way. And as someone who likes Dynasty Warriors, I know that a lot of people don't like Dynasty Warriors. So that's not fun for a lot of people. And the bosses, they just don't bring it to the table. Like, I should be punished severely for just like walking around the enemy. Like, he should have like grabs that go behind him. Like, there should be a limit, or the boss should like try and stay farther away from me and strike him from afar so I can't dodge his huge radius attacks. But it just doesn't seem that way. And there's a way to grab bosses, but like, it's so unnecessary that I'm not worried about it. And like, I know this is the first boss, but that's how it is for all of the bosses I've encountered up to the 3rd stage. So I don't expect it to change much. And bonus stage, sure. The bonus stage it's always this, as far as I know. It's just always a little rock, paper, scissors game. And it's kind of whatever if you win or lose. I think it was actually better for me to lose that one, because stamina potions are just not that good. Alright, but since I've showed a little bit of this character, I will at least show one other character. And the questing, if you want, like, at the beginning there, I was like, it's exactly what you see. Like, it's an MMO where, like, the story, like, to me, if some of you might care about story a lot in an MMO, I generally do not. It's really just not great. Like, you're going to want to run up to guys and just mash through all their dialogue and just be like, give me the next thing to kill, please. Can we just do the kill thing? And, like, that's a problem. But that's a problem in, like, almost every MMO, as far as I'm concerned. So that can't so much be helped. And unfortunately, the problems that the game does have, which are just some mechanical failures in, like, how to fight bosses and stuff like that, it makes it, and since the game has been at least in development, and it was released previously in 2011, and now it's been released on Steam, I don't see the game improving very much, which is unfortunate because I think with a lot, like, it'd take quite a bit of work, but it could be very good. Like, it could be real good. But unfortunately, I just don't see it happening. But if you're looking for something that will run on a potato, and why did I move back to camp? Like, because this game has, like, the bar for running this game is incredibly low, seeing as it came out 3 years ago. So if you can't run a game like this, like, say, Terra or Vindictus, then, like, this is a great option. If you're looking for something with low, like, system requirements, this is, and it's in this style, this is about your only choice. As far as I know. I would like to know more about an MMO that I haven't heard of, maybe. It's a lot like this. I'll tell you what, we're going to the corner of Whispers. I've played this on hard, and it's pretty much the exact same, just with a lot more rooms and enemies. But I'm not going to do that now, because since it's just more rooms and enemies, it just takes forever to do, and the rewards don't seem to be any different whatsoever. And I know rewards are one of the things that they're taking a lot of feedback on while they're in early access, but the unfortunate part about the higher difficulties is they just seem to just make all the numbers go up. Like nothing like mechanically changes in like new enemies, or enemies get newer moves to like fight you with. It just becomes more enemies with more health, which isn't an interesting way, in my opinion, to increase difficulty. Because then, like, while you're in just like the one mission, you'll get bored, and that's not good at all. You don't want to be bored. And while the moves that are here in the game for each character are good, I would rather, much rather, have two characters that have much like a much larger variety of moves. Like one guy, one girl, and like they just have a ton of moves. Ah, I was not paying attention. There we go. Then to have 4 characters that all have 10 moves each, because they have move lists of 10, and then you're gonna have the 10 skills at the bottom, which currently one of my skills at the bottom is just a dodge, and one of them is just a buff of 2% damage, which just, their abilities that just aren't interesting to me. And I don't think they're going to be very interesting to very many people that aren't just like going very hard in like the min-maxing of like needing that 2%, needing like 1% more this, 3% more that. Like that kind of stuff, just, it doesn't change gameplay enough for it to be interesting to me specifically. So it ends up being like very disappointing whenever I'm getting abilities that need to go on my bar that just don't really affect how I'm playing. They're just more things for me to use. Now the first ability I got is a totally different story, which is, here, one sec, a long range grab that does damage, and it'll pull them to me if they don't die from it, which is great. Like a pull move, that sounds like, for a close range character that I'm playing right now, it's a great addition to his arsenal, and it gives him more variety, which would be awesome if that's how all of my moves were, or if they were like highly damaging attacks, that's fine too. But to have moves, like for example, I can hit block and then space and I do that move. If I hit V, it's the same thing, only it has a cooldown now. So I don't understand why that's an ability I unlock if it's something I already have. Like it's not, like it literally adds nothing. It just takes up space on my hotbar. Like I guess I have like an extra dodge now, but because the controls are a little bit delayed, like between the time you can like block and dodge, like you'll just be using the one that's faster now. And if you need to like dodge twice out of anything, then like you're not gonna avoid it anyway, because you don't have invincibility frames whenever you're dodging. Like it doesn't matter. You'll just have been hit by it because you won't be able to dodge fast enough. Now if that was like a much farther dodge, or like a different animation, or like it had invincibility frames, that would definitely be an improvement. But because it doesn't have that stuff, it's just not adding anything, so the gameplay quickly becomes very not interesting, unfortunately. Like in the first couple levels, I was having a really, really good time. I was like, this game could potentially turn out to be very well. Or very good, rather.
You can go to the next area.
But then I started getting into the skills, the equipment that's not really adding a whole lot, just putting my numbers higher, like that kind of stuff. And like the bosses weren't really changing. They were just like different animations for what is essentially the same attacks. And like it's just, it's really draining to have nothing really changing from level 1 to level 10. Like there's nothing at all. Like I wasn't even faced with like a cutscene of like story stuff, which sometimes like that's fine. If your reward is a cutscene for like grinding through a couple of levels, it's like alright. And then you expect it to be better later. But you don't really get that. So while I was originally, before I looked up how long it's been in development, when it had originally been released, and like what's been going on since then, I was originally pretty optimistic about the game, as I thought it was just a tiny developer that was just trying their luck. But it seems that it's been going for a while, and now they're pretty much just releasing on Steam for a quick cash-in, to be totally honest.
Double kick.
But while like, I don't have a problem with the game being on Steam or anything, it's just pretty unfortunate that the game couldn't be more than it is. Inventory's full. That's whatever. Also, you S rank everything. Like, there's no... Like, I have gotten exclusively S ranks, I think. Like, I haven't really been paying attention, but every time I realize what rank I got, I feel like it's always S, and I don't really feel like I'm doing much to earn it. Like, it's not like a don't get hit and, like, do tons of damage to the boss. It just seems to be beat it without dying. And even if you die, I think I've gotten it before, which is really pretty sad. So, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a fun game for people that can't run the games that are more demanding on your system, that have more going on with them. Is it a bad game? Eh. Is it a good game? Eh. Yes, but no. Like, based on the first 10 levels of the game and playing as all the characters a little bit, it's kind of meh in pretty much every direction as far as I can see. And also, before I forget, let me see if I can get to it. That's not it. Base control, that's not it. Let me see if I can find it. There's a fatigue system. Well, I can't find it, but basically you use fatigue to go on missions, which I hope is a holdover from another country where that kind of stuff is like very common, where they have limits on how long you can play, or they try and like make it less appealing to play because people will just play all day and they don't want that. But that generally doesn't translate very well over here because people generally don't really do that. So that's kind of unfortunate that if you wanted to sit down and play for a while, a lot of the time, like if you're going to play for 4 hours, you'll hit your fatigue limit at what would probably be like 2. So that's kind of unfortunate. But like as a whole, the game is a fun little grind fest. So I think that's about all you're really going to get out of it, but it's pretty interesting. So I guess as a whole, if you're on like a laptop or something that's not going to be like crazy powerful or anything like that, give it a shot. If you can't run games like Terra, then like it's a good option.